So, this is something that I miss from Stowe that they used to do regularly. This is all over the place in all the missions that they cut. They used to do all kinds of crazy stuff like this. And that was really fun. Like, that was actually the most fun content in the game, is just your crew going on just weird, random, crazy adventures. Like, that's what really made a lot of people fall in love with the game. Nowadays, they're super serialized, and every mission has to be like this effects blowout with all kinds of expensive stunt casting. Listen, you don't need voice acting. All you need is good writing and good design. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need to wait for some celebrity's schedule. You don't need to have every mission be like a special effects blowout. Because here's the thing. The way they treat their new missions, they treat every episode like it's some sweet 2-parter. But 90% of Star Trek is shot, reverse shot conversation. Now, granted, this is an action game, so you want to do action stuff, but Star Trek Online... Star Trek, I'm sorry. I'm losing the ability to speak properly, Jesus. Has done plenty of action stuff on a low budget. Like, most of the action in Star Trek isn't big cinematic stuff. It's low-budget stuff that can be done on budget and on schedule for a 24-episode season. So, like, that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to spotlight Phantasy Star Online, was because those guys were really good at using existing assets to tell cool stories. And that's something that Star Trek Online used to do a lot. Used to use existing assets to tell interesting stories. And they've become addicted to spectacle, and they've gotten away from that, and it's really unfortunate. They really need... You can get back to lots of... I don't want to call it filler content, but lots of, let's call it episodes, Monsters of the Week, right? Storylines. You can get back to that without sacrificing design. Okay, because those stories, and this is a lesson that Star Trek is, that the shows are having to relearn, because Strange New Worlds is just this fucking goofy mess right now. But you can have like that your crazy goofy episode, but you can't have that as like every other episode of like a 10-episode season. Like Star Trek used to have, like did have back in the day, those goofy comedy episodes, but those goofy comedy episodes were like in the middle of a 24-episode season, where you've also got your action episode, you've got your like drama episodes, you've got your mystery episodes, you've got all different kinds of genre already across a 24-episode anthology season. And that used to be Star Trek Online's biggest strength, is that it was an anthology game. Like, each episode kind of had like a little piece that contributed to a larger arc, sure, but that wasn't. But for the most part, it was your character going on crazy adventures. It was about your character, your ship, your crew, instead of about people whose stories got told on primetime 30 fucking years ago. Right? Like don't get me wrong, I like Tuvok, I like Tuvok, I like Harry Kim, I like all these other characters, but they had their time. Like, their stories were told. Seven is an exception because Seven is captain of the Enterprise now, and for all intents and purposes, it seems that, at least, the word is on the grapevine that Skydance is dead set on Legacy being a thing. So that's a bit of a weird one. Like, Seven's story was told, yes, but apparently Seven's story is not over in prime time yet. But just about everybody else is. Like, Janeway got her, like, Janeway and Chakotay got their kind of epilogue with a Prodigy, like, all 2 seasons of it. So, yeah, that's what I really want from this game. I don't want world-ending bullshit from this game. I want an anthology series from this game. I want this game to do what it used to do best, and that is just lots of crazy stories. Like, they don't, like, not everything has to have enormous stakes. Like, not everything has to be the fate of the universe. And this is even something like you get fatigued from it. The fucking player base is fatigued from it at this point. They were like begging for something that wasn't like the fate of the universe after like the Mirror Universe stuff, after the V'ger stuff. Like, they were already saying, can we please just not have the fate of the universe at stake, and please just have like some cool adventures. And then they introduced the fucking multiverse arc. It's like, god damn. This, like, that is the thing. More than any license dispute, more than any rights issue, that is the thing that will take the game down faster than anything else, is the dev team being completely disconnected with the kind of narratives that the player base wants to see. Listen, the player base doesn't want to save there cannot be like just some universal threat every story arc, right? The player base, like, what they really want is just like fun content. They just want cool stories that are fun to play, and this like Halloween event, the game used to be full of that kind of shit. And if you don't believe me, go over to my Rise of the Red Shirt playlist. Some of the videos are a little hard to watch. They're old. They're real old. But go over to the Rise of the Red Shirt playlist, and you will see like what the old Klingon arc, multiple versions of the old Romulan arc, and the old Cardassian arc and Undine arcs are in the Star Trek Online playlist. I've basically at this point covered the entire game as it originally launched. And yeah. Yes, it's pretty good. Like, there's a lot of variety in the stories being told. Not all the missions were great. Some of them were pretty clunky. Some of them could have used some design work. But overall, most of them were pretty fun. One of the memories that really sticks in my mind is the one where you're fighting through the power core of Deep Space Nine. That mission was really fun. I think that was when the Terrans had taken over. Kurlan sucks. Kurlan loses, like, once upon a time, before all those missions were taken out and all those fleet actions were taken out, Kurlan loses Deep Space Nine like 4 times in a year. Dude, like, it says something. It says something when the prophets ask you to handle something, and not the guy who's been looking after what is essentially Sisko's legacy for however long Kurlan's been in charge of DS9. They ask you, the, like, rando captain who just got promoted from the tender age of ensign to command of your own starship. They ask you to do something, and not the guardian of the gateway to the Celestial Temple. That should tell you something about Kurlan. I'm honestly surprised they haven't killed him off yet. I am genuinely, like, I'm surprised they haven't killed him off. Like, I know that, like, Sarish has basically taken over as Kurlan's representative, effectively, on Deep Space Nine. I'm surprised they didn't just put Sarish in charge. I can see or they didn't just make Sarish like just the XO of the station and like the one you're always talking to, like the Major Kira, because they have proper Kira, who is a Starfleet captain now, and is the guardian of the wormhole once again. So like her being in charge of Deep Space Nine is cool, and it could possibly open up lots of little references to, say, like the relaunch books, like the DS9 relaunch, like Worlds of Deep Space Nine, that sort of thing. But they can't exactly get Nana Vistor to do VO with any kind of frequency. You know, they can't regularly get her around to do, like, voiceover for Kira. So, it makes sense Sarish being the one that you talk to. But I am genuinely surprised they have not just killed off Kurland at this point. Then again, they haven't killed off most of the original characters. They just forgot they existed.